Welcome back, everybody. It's Jeff and Justin here, your favorite frustrated rock stars and professional music fans. Wow, you're still down in that. Back with some Talk and Roll live on MP4 from the Atlanta Brewing Company in Atlanta, Georgia, and we thank them for having us here. Wow, he's still going. That's how good the beer is here. Hey, tonight we are going to talk about bootleg concert releases versus official live releases. Sure. It's actually a requested topic from a fan from YouTube, Professor MMP, so we decided to do it.
The funny thing is, there's actually kind of bootlegs of our show now that are floating around the internet. People are making their own versions and they're passing around copies.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that tonight and the headliner, but first let's check out the opening act. Okay, Ozzy has got another lawsuit going. He's suing Tony Iommi.
I don't like hearing this.
His former Black Sabbath bandmate for copyright infringement or name uses or whatever. So Ozzy's suing Tony. Sign it or drop it. What do you think, Justin?
Well, first thing, I hate to see this happen with the Eagles. Van Halen with all their fallout. I just hate to see these great bands that you love, that you grew up with, go through this. Having said that, this smells of Sharon.
Well, yeah.
Ozzy, you don't see Ozzy sitting around the house going over contracts going, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's completely Sharon. But what do you think? Should he sue him or not? Sign it or drop it?
No, I drop it. Now, I know there's contracts. I know there's money involved. I know that at the end of the day, the lawyers talk about it. It's not anything personal. But at 60 years old, with all the money they've had, and to tarnish the legacy...
Can they let it go?
Let it go.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Having $41 million in the bank and $42.5.
I thought drop it too, but then I read a little bit more. I say sign it, because Tony Iommi apparently he's claiming to be the sole owner of all the Black Sabbath merchandising.
He's pulling the Axl Rose.
And he's like, so I think, Ozzy does have, I'm sorry, Sharon has a lawsuit.
Thank you. Well, I'm sure Sharon will win.
Yeah.
What, are you going to go up against Sharon Osbourne?
Yeah. All right, let's move on to tonight's headliner. And, of course, the headliner brought to you by Teaseria.com. You can order some great rock and roll t-shirts, custom made, just like that, with the VU meter.
Look at that, VU meter. But you could get piping hot fresh.
You could get a blue one.
Yes, you could, actually.
Or you could get a large, whatever. And they send it to you in a pizza box.
It's a pizza box.
And the best part is, if you enter the code ROCK, you get 15% off. You get a discount. We look good.
Win, win, win.
Win, win, win.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
So the headliner tonight is actually a suggested topic from Professor MMP, a YouTube fan of ours.
We're taking requests.
Thank you so much. We love getting the suggestions, so we did it. Bootleg concert footage, whether it be audio or video, versus like official concert releases, DVDs or live albums. So what do you think? Where do we start?
This is personal for me. Oh, me and my hero, Nikki Sixx. I'm not a fan of live albums. Now, we're talking live albums now.
Official releases.
Official releases.
Yeah.
They're usually, A, expensive, B, like double albums, more than you need. It's like no care was taken into selecting the tracks. They're just like, it's like 4 discs and stuff. Why would you listen to that when you could actually listen to the real record, the studio quality?
Right.
So when it comes to those, it seems like they always just kind of put them out. It seems like a money break.
Well, it's always like a record contract fulfillment.
Right, exactly.
Just put it out.
You own 2 more albums, so you do a double album, which counts as 2 albums.
Right.
A live album, and then a true fan buys it.
But some of them have broken through to be like the Peter Frampton Frampton Comes Alive. That's like his definitive album.
Oh, yeah.
More so than
Kiss
the Kiss and the live.
Yeah. There's a bunch of choices of.
My first thing is, first of all, official live albums, they're not really live. They go back and overdub stuff.
Absolutely.
And clean stuff up and edit it together and all this stuff. So it's not truly live. So in my opinion, I prefer bootleg footage, as long as the quality is there. Because there are some concerts, you can get a CD quality concert with no edits.
It comes off the board.
Right off the board. You want the board recording. If you get one of those, I got chills. Because like Led Zeppelin's one of my favorite bands, and that's a band you want to hear the bootleg stuff. Because Jimmy Page is notorious for being kind of sloppy. And you hear all, but you wouldn't hear that on an official live release. So I like hearing the mistakes. It makes me feel better. Well, because I always thought, as a kid growing up hearing live albums, I was like, wow, you gotta be so good, you gotta play it perfect every time. But that's how they did it back, when they re-recorded. If you hear this raw bootleg stuff, you're like, wow, I could probably get in there and play that. He made a couple mistakes.
Wow, interesting. And then,
So I like hearing the realness.
And of course, they're collector's items for certain bands, like the jam bands, the Grateful Dead, what have you. I mean,
they got
the whole industry.
Well, they got so into it, they let people do it.
Sure.
Grateful Dead, you could just come there and record it, you know, all you want. God, well, if the Grateful Dead were still touring now, because you met with the technology now, it'd be just simulcast iPod concerts non-stop. Oh my God, man, it's gonna make my head explode. All right,
so anyway, yeah, you know, there's no wrong answers. Let's hear yours. You know how to reach us.
Info at thefrustratedrockstars.com, or leave comments at YouTube, of course. And we'll get to some of your comments in tonight's encore. But first, speaking of concerts, it's time for some solo riffs.
Here in Atlanta, we got a lot of rappers. One such rapper was a young up-and-comer named Dalla, who was recently shot down. He said that he wanted to be different than the other rappers and make music of substance, and yet he died the same senseless death. Really a tragedy. Hate to see it.
Got the new Chicken Foot album, of course, the supergroup with Michael Anthony, Sammy Hagar, Joe Satriani, and Chad Smith. Gotta say, it's a pretty good album. Some good songs, but I'm a little disappointed in the production values. Not really the production values, but the fact that it sounds like all the other rock records these days. It sounds as almost if every drummer's playing on the same kit, every guitar player plays with the same effects, with the same producer, and they all record in the same studio at the same time. What's the deal? Where's the deep, real, soulful sound? Kid Rock, Rock and Roll Jesus, still the best album of the past few years. All right, time to get to some of your comments with tonight's encore. All right, here's a comment from YouTube from DuckGan240.
Duck Gan! Kayo!
I
like a little Duck Gan. You ever had Duck Gan with a little soy?
Yeah,
a little
sure.
Sabi?
Yeah, it's number 5 on my local Chinese menu.
With a pot sticker?
We did one recently when the main talent gets the least recognition.
Yeah.
When like someone in a band is the songwriter or writing the songs, but they're not the front man, they're not the lead guitarist.
They're not the guy doing the cover stories and then, you know, the reality shows.
And I like this one. This is a good comment. 2 words. Izzy Stradlin. He wrote a lot of the riffs and lyrics, and you could tell by the way they split the songwriting up on Use Your Illusion.
No, if you read those liner notes, he's on every song.
Really?
It's either words, it's either...
He's got something on everything.
Shocked.
Yeah.
Because I'm the guy that looks at that. He really is on every song.
Yeah, so he is, even though Slash gets all the guitar credit, again, he gets the least recognition, but he wrote a lot of those killer riffs that GNR had.
Right, well, Slash did the leads.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But the songs are birthed.
He wrote the songs.
The songs are birthed by Izzy Stradlin.
He walked in there with the paper with the lyrics, and then, you know, it's in C, it's in G.
Yeah. Here's one that we missed, but we did give Steve Harris his due in our episode, one for the bass players. Steve Harris of Iron Maiden. He's like the main writer of Iron Maiden stuff, right? He's the bass player. So most people don't know him. They knew Bruce Dickinson and...
All right, well, let's talk about this, though. How many people can name anyone in Iron Maiden?
Well, Bruce Dickinson.
Okay, if you can name anyone at all.
Yeah.
So only real fans name Steve Harris.
Right.
And I got to say that every Iron Maiden fan I ever met names him first.
Steve Harris?
Steve Harris. So I think he does get recognition with the people that know who Iron Maiden is.
Right, but the casual Iron Maiden.
But people that know Guns N' Roses don't mention Izzy Stradlin ever.
Right.
So in a way, he does get recognition among his fans, which is really the only people that can name anyone in Iron Maiden anyway.
Right.
So on that one, I mean, it's a good comment, and thank you, of course, Duck Dan, but he does get credit with people that know the band is.
Right. And that's really what's most important.
Right.
All right, good. Well, you can leave some comments
It's a good one, though.
You can leave some comments too at YouTube or email us info@thefrustratedrockstars.com.
Please do.
Until next time, enjoy your music.
Enjoy it.